And I am live, sitting here by myself, waiting for someone to pop in, just to chat, to talk, to see what's going on. Got some news about Professor Geek Show. Who knows? Someone will show up soon. But until then, I'll just ramble. I'll be a rambling fool. Looking forward to Halloween. Sort of. Hey, Melissa Harris, Crazy Kitty, hi. Wow, the Lady Owl pals have showed up first. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just popping on to say hello, do a little chatting, answer any questions, explain what happened last night when I disappeared off the stream. uh, I think you guys were there last night when I mysteriously went away from the stream. You came in. You spent all day at the hospital. Oh, I hope you're better. Don't want you to be at the hospital, but hey, Daniel Herron, greetings, greetings, greetings. Like I said, just coming on, say hi, answer any questions, see if anybody has anything they want me to answer. First of all, quickly explain what happened last night to those of you who are listening to Office Hours and I disappeared. My cable went out. It's simple as that. No computer malfunction. Technically wasn't the Wi-Fi. It was the 100% cable was out, lost TV, internet, and phone. So that's why I disappeared. And by the time it came back on, the professor had wrapped up. He had done the memes and everything like that. So I was like, oh, hell. But I watched the rest of the show to see how he did without me. Poorly, of course, because, I mean, what is that show without me? I'm just kidding. He is perfectly fine. I'm just making jokes. You got some news about DC Comics. Greg Rucka gets woke, making Wonder Woman bi. I'm not surprised. Like I said, I'm not the DC Comics guy too much. They are making every weird decision that they can, and it's very sad. But yeah, and making Wonder Woman bi, I'm shocked it took this long. She's all the whole Amazon thing. I'm surprised that they haven't gone full the other direction. But there is some history in that. If everybody here seen the film Dr. Marsden and the Wonder Woman, about the guy who created Wonder Woman and how it kind of came to be? Really good film. I really highly suggest it. But of all the characters in the DC universe that could have a strange backstory, that's one. Um, but yeah. Oh, Chrissy, you're that's right. You were having some tests. Uh, hopefully everything's fine. Nothing. Nothing untoward happened. I hope. DC Comics new Bird of Prey film. Guess what? Yep. Yeah, well, it was woke day one. When they developed it, it was developed to be woke, and I have absolutely zero interest in it. Don't care. Not worried about it. And even the character of Harley Quinn, which I like from the animated series, and they've even made her unappealing. It's just not working. Melissa, your cable's out till the 1st. Well, that's the day after tomorrow, so that's not too bad. Anyone in here from California? I know there's it says 5 are watching, so it's got to be at least 4 of you watching, because I think I'm the other one, because I'm watching on YouTube because I can see the highlight better. But I feel really bad about California. I have a few friends there, uh, and seeing the stuff they're going through is kind of kind of sad. Uh, and I just wish everyone out in California, if any of you are there, uh, just hope you stay safe. Anyone who hears this that's in California, I hope you stay safe. Just it's a bad place to be right now. Yep, she loves Steve Trevor. Uh, Unless of course it's the second series in the 70s version where Steve Trevor was the son or grandson. I got to figure that out. He's probably the son of the Steve Trevor that she loved during World War II, which is why they never pursued a romance between that Steve Trevor, because it would have been too icky. Um, Cable, how's the cable going since last night? Asked Dark Stranger. Cable's fine now. Uh, it glitched once about 15 minutes after it came on last night, but it's been, knock on wood, fine today. I don't know what it was, just a random short out, I guess. But it like I said, it was TV, internet, and phone because we bundle. So that's why I disappeared. The TV was on and the professor was talking, and I saw the TV go off, and the next thing I know, the professor goes disappeared. And I was like, oh crap. And I knew it was my fault. And I knew that he was spinning some yarn about how my computers caught all kinds of viruses from downloading movies, which I would not be surprised. But if you're ever going to chance it with an old computer. Uh, I have everything important that I have is backed up. The only thing I would lose would be the odd picture here and there. Uh, Nothing that couldn't be duplicated or forgot about in the meantime. I've got stuff that I had saved for years. So I forget I have it. Just random art like from Tolkien, woodworking, uh, blacksmithing, just things I save pictures from randomly. Melissa, Wonder Woman creator's granddaughter said the film is inaccurate and full of lies. Yeah, but I'm talking in general, in generalities. Every film is going to have, any biographical film is going to have some inaccuracies. Uh, Characters that are added, uh, characters that are combined, one character split into two, uh, whatever. And yeah, I know there are some inaccuracies there, but there's a lot of truth. And I know probably a lot of the personal life stuff was, but if you look at a lot of early comics, she's tied up a lot. So she does, it does have, that thing. Chris is asking, do I have a cell phone? Yes, I do, with very poor reception. It wasn't really within reach. And, I thought about sending the professor a message, but I just kept hoping the TV would pop back on, which meant everything else would pop back on, but it never did. And I knew he was wrapping up. So, because your PC is virus full, big Al. No, like I said, it wasn't the computer last night. It was the cable coming in. It, I had no TV, no phone, and no internet. So, does my computer have stuff wrong with it? Oh, sure. Yeah, it does. But it's an older computer. I am in the thought process of figuring out what I want and what I can afford. And when I get one, it'll be fine. I have a small, those little cheapy computers you could get from like HP or Dell. They're like $150 and they're like 11 or 12 inches, and they have a flash drive and stuff like that. I've got one, but it just has no power to do anything. It's like I could do one thing. I can stream, but I couldn't watch a movie while streaming. And when I do get one, I'm going to up my RAM in favor of some other stuff. So I figure the more RAM I have, probably the better I will be at multitasking. If I'm wrong in that, please let me know, because I'm not that computer savvy. I know just enough to get myself in trouble, or to get by and have fun. So there's that. Yeah, nothing too bad happened. A number of us had a suspect of porno centaurs came for you. No porno centaurs. Um, saw a few mermaids floating around the creek down there not too long ago, but they stay to themselves. That would be awesome if there were mermaids in the creek I live on. I need to write a book. I need to find that kids book I've been writing, or I had started writing a few years ago, which actually is done in very Seussian verse. Just simple. Is it ABAB or is it AABB? I think it's AABB for any of those. For those of you who know rhyming verse, I think it's AABB. If not, it's ABAB. So very simple rhyming scheme with it. But it's the story all developed around because I had a fairy ring in my yard, and I just started kind of running with ideas on it. You had those tiny computers broken a year. Yeah, like I said, a friend got it for me when this one, early in its life, had an issue, but I was able to fix that issue. But he had thankfully brought me a new one, and so I've used it for other things. It's good, like I said, to do very basic stuff, but nothing too grand. Let's see, where am I at here? You were telling the professor to text you over it. Now, I don't think he was much of a text. Like I said, he was wrapping up. So I knew that the stream was not long for the world because, quite frankly, we were like running out of things to talk about because we had covered the main issue, and I could have gone on about Mandalorian, some of my thoughts on that, but he just does not give a rat's behind about anything going on with Star Wars. Although last week we did get to I think we got to the nugget of where we separate, is that he is a total story junkie. He likes the story. He wants the story to be, make sense and filled in. Whereas I love the universe. I love the ships, the planets, the lore, everything like that. And so what happened in Last Jedi to me wasn't that big of a deal because it's just one little story in a much grander universe. So I'll sit that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. SJWs are a cancer. Damn right they are. They're eating away at everything. CW shows, especially, are just it's a woke cancer, and some of it's becoming unwatchable. Thankfully, the Flash and Arrow's getting there because they've got that whole future crew, which they finally are getting rid of the flash forward crap. Thank God. Hopefully, after what happened at the end of the show last night, I'm hoping that is the last we see of that future storyline. I want what's going on with Oliver to be the main focus. I'm tired of it. Casey Scott, you thought Bigfoot came for me? He doesn't come for me. We simply meet on neutral ground. Yeah, I love Bigfoot. In fact, I'm sitting here with that show Mountain Monsters on. It's kind of I know it's a parody, but it's funny as hell to watch. These redneck monster hunters that are always kind of going butt crazy at night when they can't say anything. It's really funny. It's like fighting Bigfoot redneck style and drunk. Although they're never really drunk, but they might as well be. And it is darn entertaining. Crazy Kitty, your computer is almost 2 years old. It has plenty. It has only 32 gigs of space, so it works, but isn't that useful. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, they started putting stuff in the as a flash drive because the clouds. Everybody can put their stuff in the cloud. I don't utilize a cloud really, except for some. I've got like very limited OneDrive, and I use Amazon for my Kindle. Amazon's cloud photo thingy. I got a lot of stuff on that. Other than that, I prefer my stuff to be on my computer or on a flash stick or something, somewhere physical. I don't trust it up in the cloud because not that I have anything that nobody could see. I just, it's not very secure up there. Melissa Harris, your late ex-husband Mark said Alan Moore used to be a happy person until DC Comics stole Watchmen from him and ruined it with a film before Watchmen and the TV show by Damon Lindelof. Yeah, I haven't seen anything about the TV show. TV show doesn't interest me. I will say I enjoyed the film because the film was very loyal to the book, the original graphic novel, except of course with Ozymandias's plan, which I actually thought made more sense in the movie than the weird alien thing in the book. I mean, I could justify that change. I thought they did a very good job in the movie. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I enjoyed it because I love the movie. I mean, I love the book. That is just it's a 12-issue graphic novel of perfection to me. Hey, Mohammed, welcome aboard. Yeah, Dark Surgery, everyone has their own likes and dislikes, which is really important if we can accept those differences and let them become between, I guess you'd be like, yeah, basically don't let our differences come between us. Exactly. I think if you stop being friends with someone because they like The Last Jedi and you didn't, I think that's pretty pitiful. I mean, honestly, I think that's a pitiful excuse to not be a friend with somebody. I just, that's just, no works for me. Hi, Exact Change Early. How you doing? Mohammed, you're talking about, let's say, DC didn't really steal from Moore. He made it for them to own. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's DC property. I know Alan Moore doesn't like anything that they do with anything of his. If I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I heard CW Arrow last night ruined the League of Assassins. Yeah. By having woke SJW feminazi lesbian Nissa Al Ghul get rid of the Lazarus Pits. That was Talia. Or was it? Did they mention this? Well, see, someone kept messaging me during the show, so I missed a few bits here and there. But yeah, I know. I know it was Talia that was there, and now, the and now, what's her face? Oh, Speedy is now like the head of League of Assassins. It's like what the frick? But I knew they had to do something, and yeah, they it's woke, but as long as that goes away, I just want, like I said, I want to know what happens to Ollie during Crisis and how it ends. And that's going to be coming just after the new year, so we'll know soon. What do I think about the Lord of the Rings prequel show? I'm looking forward to it. I'll be very interested to see what they come up with and how they do it. I believe they're doing it in New Zealand, so it's gonna look good. Because that's a beautiful landscape. I mean, so they've got that going for it. It's gonna count on storyline and casting. I mean, we'll see how it rolls, but it's a bright and fruitful world. Is Middle Earth, or in the, I believe they're going into the Second Age, if I'm not mistaken. But that should be good. I'd still like to see them do the Silmarillion. Uh, I think that could be fun. Make it like they have Netflix make a five episode Silmarillion um, kind of precursor, or Amazon or whoever's doing it. But yeah, I love Lord of the Rings. I'm really looking forward to The Hobbit starting on Monday night on the Catholic Bible Geek channel. Remember, if you want to join it, it's going to be on the Catholic Bible Geek channel, not Professor Geek. So if you aren't a member of the Catholic Bible Geek, do it. Do it now. If you want to join in some Hobbit discussions, which I'm really looking forward to. I got my beater copy of The Hobbit yesterday, along with my wonderful package of goodies from the Pacellis. God bless them. Pacellis are good people. They really are. They have treated me 10 times better than I've needed to be treated. Where am I at? Is The Hobbit the prequel? No, The Hobbit. No, The Hobbit is the prequel to Lord of the Rings, and the stuff that's going on in the prequel show is going to be. I'm thinking. I heard it's like revolving around Numenor and the early aspects of Sauron trying to take over the world, and before the forging of the rings, or maybe at the time of the forging of the rings. I don't know. I haven't heard a lot about it. But and if it's on Amazon, so if it's on Prime, I'm gonna watch it. Dark Stranger, can't tell which I hate more at the moment. Autocorrects or YouTube's 200 limit that messes up making well thought out comments. I don't know. I could usually fit my thoughts under 200. I don't like to. I'm saying that I don't like to prattle on. I love to prattle on, but I usually repeat the same concept a few times. And it's like, if you miss it the first time, maybe the next 2 times I say it, you'll understand. But I hate autocorrects. I have never and will never tell someone to go duck themselves. So there's that. Melissa Harris, because of what Sarah Lance, who needs to die in crisis, ruined Ra's al Ghul's story. F you, Merlanti. Wow. Yeah, that's a little strong. I don't think Sarah Lance needs to die. I like Sarah Lance, actually. White Canary. I'm looking forward to when the Legends of Tomorrow come back on. I am kind of peeved that they haven't come on. It's always been the unloved bastard show of the CW. It never gets as many episodes. It gets the bad time slots. It gets moved around more than anything, until the last couple of years when it's been Arrow. But Arrow's been the old show that has gotten long in the tooth, and I'm glad they're going out now rather than being forced out. Will Poulter is the lead. I don't even know who Will Poulter is. I'll look him up one of these days. Crizzy, don't own a copy of The Hobbit. It's cheap. Got mine for $4 at thrift books. Of course, you need to have at least $10 to get free shipping, but there were a couple other books I wanted. Both of them Greek cookbooks. Love cookbooks. Love Greek cookbooks. One is about just Greek cooking in general. The Book of Greek Cooking, or is it Greek cooking? I forget. But the other one is Cooking of the Greek Islands, and they great recipes, great photos. I love Greece. It's one country I would love to go to. I would just love to sit on a beach with a frap and an ouzo and some grilled squid, some dolmades, some spanakopita. You heard people complaining about Gandalf. They wanted him to be a woman in the show. Gandalf's not a woman. They made Gandalf a woman. It's dumb. People complain all they want. Gandalf has a penis. But yeah, if they did try that, I would be so upset. Sad thing, if they bring in Gandalf, I don't want to say they would need to bring in Ian McKellen, but Ian McKellen's not a young man anymore. Although I still think he could probably pull it off. Because Gandalf being a wizard could look, if he's tired, could look older, and then when he's, can look younger when he's rejuvenated. I don't know. They can make something up. But no. Crazy Kitty Sarah Lance is your favorite character, Melissa. She's annoying. I wouldn't say she's my favorite character. I don't really have a favorite. Well, I do kind of like Heatwave, just because he's kind of the gruff, grumpy guy. But I'm going to miss Adam when he leaves. Brandon Routh is leaving with his wife, who's been playing Nora. Lucky guy. But he just filmed his last episode, so he'll be going. Because Kitty, you don't get paid till tomorrow, and your post office is a POS with packages. Sorry. Do you have a used bookstore near you, or I'm sure somebody's got to have a Hobbit out there. You can always listen. I wonder if has anybody checked YouTube? Is there an audio version of The Hobbit on YouTube? I have a version, thankfully, that someone got me as a gift. If it helps with part of the show, sometimes I get gifted. So that helps out a lot. Mohammed, did I catch your memes? Yeah. And what I thought they were cute. I thought they were good. I'm trying to remember exactly which ones were which. My mind's escaping me, but I remember going through them, and I thought that they were pretty funny. Oh, and I'm still trying to get. I haven't had a chance to get to the rest of your paper, by the way. I've been trying to get some of my own stuff done. I finally got that. Finished my review. Oh yeah, my review for Insatiable is up on Big Al's Review-O-Rama. The Netflix series that stars the Disney show Jesse's Debbie Ryan, who is a fair buxom lass, and in every way that can be meant. Like I said, if you like the first season, you'll like this one. If you didn't like it, you wouldn't watch it anyway. So, but it's a fun show. It's a fun, dumb show. Ludicrous, theater of the absurd. If you like that kind of stuff, you'll enjoy Insatiable. And remember, while you're at it, Fan Man put up a review of Netflix's movie Eli. So if you haven't caught that, check out the Fan Man channel. And The Professor. Oh yeah. While I'm thinking about it, I've got, oh wow, good amount of you here. If you haven't seen The Professor's tweet, there is no Halloween Tree rewatch tonight. I repeat, there is no Halloween Tree rewatch tonight. The Professor needs to get his book ready for digital downloading, and he's going to need all the time he can muster. So he's choosing that, of course, which takes 100 times priority than watching the Halloween Tree. Halloween Tree will be there another day. It's always next year. But yeah, if you were planning on a rewatch tonight, yeah, there is no rewatch tonight. Tell him you said boo, Muhammad. Yeah, this is all about Tales from the Stacks. Tales from the Stacks. He is trying to get it ready to get to everyone who bought a copy, a digital version by tomorrow. Tomorrow, of course, Halloween, and the professor is working his butt off uh, to get this done. And I don't know how much hair he's going to end up ripping out. Lord knows how big his forehead will get now. If he gets too stressed out and starts pulling out his hair. Muhammad's putting in something. What is that, Muhammad? I'm not going to click on it right now, but is that a audio or is it a digital version of the book? So archival. Oh, very cool. Well, there you go, Crizzy. If you want to if you want the Hobbit, you at least got you've got that. So let me see where let me see. Did I miss anything? Tom King. Yeah, Tom King's an idiot. Don't I think that's been said. Chrissy was thinking of just having Superman read it to me over the phone because he has a copy. That's sweet. He should just sit there and record an audio version for you. Exact change only unsubbed. Who, me? Or him? Yeah. Hey, I got 9 in here watching. I only got 3 thumbs up. Come on, thumbs me up. Give me the thumb, baby. God, that sounds really weird, and I know, but no video, no subscription. Power to the people. I thought about doing one, but I had a rough night sleeping last night, so I was a little skittish on doing. I was a little pressed on doing tonight's anyway. Sometimes I can make it, sometimes I can't. Almost don't, but we all know what happened last night. The Hobbit stream is when? The Hobbit stream is next Monday night, 11 p.m. on the Catholic Bible Geek channel. So it'll be the professor and me, and I don't know if anybody else is going to join in or not right now, but maybe another night. Yeah, he's doing a live stream or directing us to Yellow Flash channel for some drawing thing. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. It's something for Ethan. I think I hope to. I don't know what that's about, but I think that came up, and I think it's a chance. Hey, I think Ethan's a part of it. Any chance to get some time with Ethan is well spent time. I do not hold any problem with him spending some time with Ethan. The professor is trying to make it go as a comic writer and YouTube personality, so I'm not going to begrudge him that. But you know what? That does think I wonder if I did a stream later tonight. Nah. I need I don't know. I need a restful night. I haven't had a restful night the last couple nights. I had 2 really good nights where I slept really well. I mean, really well. And like last night was just, I don't know, just kept waking up and I don't know. And I know, you know what? I think I know why, because I did not leave it on the Hallmark channel. If I put it on the Hallmark channel, I usually see better. I know it's weird. Might be something in the brain. I don't know. I'm just wired differently. Woo! Wow, forehead levels are critical. Yeah, I put that in there to see if he reads this, and if he brings it back on me, then I'll know he listens to my streams, because I don't know if he does or not. Happy Halloween. Yeah, forehead. That is funny. Um, Professor Geek pulls out his hair and becomes Lex Luthor with a big forehead. Maybe he'll just become Lex Luthor. All his hair will just go away. Muhammad's asking, have I read Tales from the Stacks? Will you be reviewing it? I have read the stories. I know what the stories are. I proofread a lot for punctuation, misspellings, the odd word use here and there, which is really my strong point. I can give feedback for like story points and stuff like that, but very broad strokes, and it would be only from my I'm not going to say uneducated opinion because I have education, but the professor is more of the story structure, story flow, how things are like that. I've been pretty good at catching when a comma needs to be there, when a period should be there, uh, if a sentence doesn't sound quite right. Basically, when a story is fully full out. That's what when I started looking at yours, Mohammed, and you told me it was like a free thought kind of a thing, just trying to set up some concepts. That's where that's my expertise is not in that. I just can't really give you as much of that. And for me, in order for me to give you any decent feedback on it, I would literally have to talk to you. So I would have a hard time typing it all out, all the concepts and questions that I have. It would be more of a conversation, which I would love to have one day if you ever want to do that. I would be more than happy to do that. But yeah, I am the guy the professor comes to right before he sends a copy to Ishii to have it lettered. That, and I don't know why he thinks he he gives me praise more than I truly believe I'm worth. But that's him. I just basically I set it up in my Word, and I'll do it. I'll have it read. I'll literally have it read, and I check it for flow and see how it's questioned. Because I read better when I'm also hearing it the audio on it. So I do that, and I do it a couple times, just kind of see that, and I just say, hey, dude, jump on a stream or Skype, let's talk, and I'll send him my copy of where I've highlighted everything. And I was like, okay, here, grab your copy and let's go through this thing. Sleep is very important. So if you need rest, best get some rest. Yeah, thank you, Dark Stranger. A lot of times especially today, today is an update. I get up every day in my chair. Y'all know the story. Bad back, can't walk. Neck with 2 tons of steel in it. One of these days, I'll find a way to share that my neck picture. It's actually pretty cool looking. The first time I saw it, it really freaked me out to knowing that was in my neck. And on cold mornings, when I rocked my head back and forth in a quiet bathroom, I could hear. It's a little disconcerting. But days that I'm up like that takes a lot out of me. Plus, I'm kind of dealing with an issue right now, a physical. Let's just say I have I have an issue. It's not like a life thing. It's a more of a just pissing me off kind of a thing. I just need to heal, and getting up irritates it. So, but I just got back in bed a little while ago, and so I'm good for another 2 days, letting things heal. Yeah, alrighty then. Yeah, I was like, I don't want to go too TMI on that kind of stuff. I know it's already bad. Um, Alan Moore and Frank Miller are both effing legends, along with Grant Morrison, Neil Adams, Jack Kirby, Alec Ross, Stan Lee, Bob Kane, Bill Finger, and the guy who made Superman, Schuster and Siegel, the guys who made Superman. Um, yeah, do you ever get the feeling that like Schuster and Siegel and Stan Lee would be rolling around in the graves right about now, seeing all the stuff that's going on? I mean, DC still has good art, but their stories suck. Marvel has sucking on both levels. I saw some of their art a couple weeks ago, and I am like, this is like 5-year-old child wouldn't even want to put it on my refrigerator type art. It's real sad. And but yeah, that's why I say, if there's a poll out there, Marvel DC, which goes under first, I say Marvel. Because I don't think their characters are as resonating with others. Crazy Kitty used to have titanium rods in your back. Oh, they took them out. See, I gotta live with mine. I got all the rods and screws. I asked the doctor, "Is like, are these ever going to come out?" And he's like, "Nope." And he said, "And if the screws come loose, we usually don't bother trying to fix it. They'll just heal." I'm like, okay, which is really freaky. Robo Owl rated M for violent sexual contact. Yeah, pretty much. It was like a Terminator. It's like the inside of a Terminator. I always thought it, being in my own little thing. Not that bad, but it's kind of freaky. I used to use it for my Facebook icon. My Facebook avatar was just a picture of my neck. But and I still say it's weird to say that the neck is not what eventually put me down for good. It was the lower back. Well, it was the mid back. But well, it is what it is. Mohammed, finally starting your job today, and you're so freaking nervous. It's a training shift at 6:30, and right now, talentless hacks at Marvel and DC have better jobs. That's true. There's always going to be someone with a better job. You're always going to feel underappreciated. When I worked at Borders, there were, like, at one time before there was a restructuring, there were 6 managers. I was the least paid of the crew, and yet my performance was always better than everybody else, and I always felt like pissed off about it. Enjoy your job, make your money, and go up and out and over or away. But hunker down, do a good job, get experience, make your money, and good luck with it. What were you doing again? Let me know. I know you said before, but I have a bad memory. But yeah, put it down there. Crazy Kitty, you fell on black ice and broke your back and got an infection that traveled up the rods, so they had to remove them. Ew. Yeah, I got what was it? Was it a bacterial infection? I had a bacterial infection on the second go around. When I had the lower back surgery, something happened, and they had to put a PICC line in from into my arm and into my heart, because the medication was so corrosive to veins that a regular line wasn't good enough, a regular IV. That was fun. You wish you could work at a Borders. Well, Borders is gone now, sadly. Did I miss? Oh, I missed all kinds of stuff. House of X is ruined by X-Men. Yep. Yeah, it's done. Yeah, Marvel's done. Still amuses me as well as disturbs me that people are getting good jobs at Marvel and other places for bad-mouthing people, or even suggesting that they look like a character and thus deserve a job. Yeah, that's not the way to instill confidence in your workforce or into your fans. Yeah, you wish you could work at Borders. Best job I ever had, working at Borders. The first few years before they restructured. Before they restructured and ruined everything. That was the greatest job in the world. Loved going to work. I worked extra hours for no extra pay. Just had a blast. Just was fun. Great people. Um, met met some great authors, and like Mick Foley, the wrestler, Mankind. Met him. I was his pseudo bodyguard liaison guy, and just got to hang around him all night. Awesome dude. Oh, that's right, beer vending. I was sitting there thinking I knew it had something to do with liquor. That could have its privileges. But yeah, Borders was a great job. Bookstores were always always a fun job. Sadly, I think they're going by the wayside. It's not gonna be long, I think, before Barnes and Noble starts really dying out. Used bookstores are the only bookstores that seem to be going to go any size now. You only know the infection was the size of a grapefruit. Yeesh. Yeah, I don't know how big or invasive mine was, but I knew I was on this medication for a week or more. I forget. Actually, during that time, I have some lost time during that period. I do not remember. I vaguely remember them asking me questions like, "What day is it?" And I knew in the back of my head what day it is, but I could not get my mouth to say it. And I knew where I was, but I couldn't get my mouth to say it. And it was a very, very scary, very scary period in my life. X-Men also act like a robotic, cold, unemotional cult. Well, yeah. Casey Scott, not Barnes Noble too. I need my physical books. Yeah, we'll always have our physical books. I not for I'd say at least for another good 25 years before everybody just loses their mind and stops printing actual books. I mean, look, yeah, hell, even vinyl is making a comeback. So I don't think we're going to lose hard copy books, but the accessibility to where you physically go and look at it, hold it up, look through it, you're going to lose that. You're going to have to know what you want and just order it. And like I said, Borders problem, they never developed their own e-reader, and they tried to get into bed with Amazon, and it just didn't work. Barnes & Noble developed an e-reader, and that's why they're open today. Although the Nook is kind of going by the wayside because the Kindle is killing it big time. Yeah, Jack Kirby's rolling around in his grave. Yeah, I think a lot of creators who are no longer with us are rolling around in their grave, seeing some of the stuff being done. Bookstores aren't faring well. Your local Books A Million is backed up with used trade-ins than newer stuff, and they seem to do little in getting rid of it. But alas, the digital age is coming. Yeah, Books A Million, we had one here. It's been in Books A Million, basically like a over an what oh geez. Like a remainder store, like when stores buy too many and they have to sell off like cartons and cartons of books, and Books A Million buys them and sells them, and isn't that what Books A Million is basically? If so, I think we've had one or two float around this area. But we used to have a little local bookstore here called Bay Books. And before that, there was a Bose Books, which was like this rickety old building with little spinner racks all over the place, and you couldn't. It was hard to really find anything, uh, but it was great for browsing. And it was also like a craft store and everything, but it eventually closed. The owner passed. Uh, but it was a great store. I really loved Bo's Books. And then Bay Books was kind of a nice, a little bit larger, a little more dedicated to full books, real nice. And then Borders hit up in the town's called Waldorf in Maryland. It's like if you come over the bridge from Virginia, it's the first big city. Well, town. It's not a city, really. Well, no, it'll be the second. La Plata is going to be the biggest. The first one, but it's basically like several miles of strip malls and restaurants and car dealerships, and that's where Borders was. But once that hit, it kind of killed the little ones all over the place. And there's a mall there. It had a Walden Books that eventually killed it, even though Borders and Walden Books were the same company. Yeah, Chris, you have a Kindle. I have a Kindle. I like my Kindle. I like the little Kindles, Kindle Fire. It's that's what I get on about 8 between 7:30 and 8 every night. I get on my Kindle. I shut my computer down and give myself a rest from it, unless we live stream at 11. Then I get back on my computer. But until then, I just stay on my Kindle. I play my pool. I play my rockets. Simple rockets, little simple physics thing about with rockets. Still has not been able to escape Jupiter, or Smoopiter as they like to call it. Stratego, Dapple, just play around. Big Al, The Lost Years, rated M for sexual content, lots and lots of action and violence, blood, gore, and cussing, horror, prof nude. Cosmic intervention. Muhammad, what character would you want to be from any universe? But the character has to be on an adventure, so no chill characters. Oh, wow. Captain James T. Kirk. Yeah. Captain James T. Kirk. That's the coolest guy. Charge of a starship, hot chicks. Kirk was the coolest character out there when I was growing up. He was the man. Yeah, and of course he's no chill. He doesn't just sit there and chill. He got out there and got his hands dirty and got beat up and everything like that. But man, that'd be fun. Actually, did I ever check out the Vinland Saga? No, I haven't. I haven't really watched any anime since Evangelion. Kind of put me off the anime for a while. Sadly, sorry. Although I was kind of, I don't know, I'm getting in a Robotech mood for some reason. I keep seeing the name Robotech on my Twitter feed going, I need to watch Robotech again. It's been a long time. I really wish that they would finish Arslan. I was really enjoying the Arslan anime. That they really need to continue, because I if they don't, I'm going to be pissed if I don't know how that story ends. Term adventure is nebulous. It could be an adventure of the heart. Chilling is an adventure in and of itself. You're right. Yeah, it can be. Like Walter Mitty, going on his little, daydreaming adventures. I did that a lot when I was a kid. I always identified the character of Walter Mitty a little bit. Crazy Kitty was allowed to watch Star Trek. That is obscene, and your parents should be in jail. Yeah, TOS. That was, I mean, that was the first quote unquote adult show I really remember being into. If if you count Batman, maybe about the same time. Uh, but Batman I consider more young adult, more than like full on adult show. Uh, of course, there was the Flintstones, all my cartoons in the morning. Newser Review, always watched that. God, I miss those days. Um, yeah, totally. Yeah. Dark Stranger, admit it, it's more about the green chicks than the starship. Dark Stranger, it's about the green chicks in the starship. So you gotta have them both. Um, you totally, yeah. Evangelion is a bad show. Yep. I might have to mute here in a second because if this answers, my phone number will come up, and I don't want that to be broadcast all over the internet. We'll see if it gets answered. Okay, I'm back. I just, I couldn't let my phone number get that out there on the internet. Sorry. Uh, Robotech, you have the first series on DVD. Yeah, I have the 86 episode edition, the Robotech on DVD, and I also have the Sentinels, the ones that they did. That's also on it, but I also had the VHS copies of that. Um, yeah, I've got like a couple of. I got like the album, the soundtrack album. I got the role playing game books that originally came out, and I've got all the paperback books of the story through Sentinels the story they were bringing through Sentinels. So yes, I was into Robotech there for a while. Evangelion's not for newbies or the faint of heart, definitely. I I I I I like the concept. Uh, it just I didn't think the execution was that good. It's like they would skip too much, and sometimes it just didn't make sense. Like why? How? Why? How? And I'm thinking these have got to be some very ineffectual um, angel things, not being able to defeat these guys because they were making some dumbass decisions. Uh, the sequel to Big Al and the Lost Years, Old Man Al rates Triple X for more sexual content, nudity, more action, violence, blood, gore, and body horrors from the professor's forehead. Oh God. Um, Now, sadly, my life would never be rated Triple X. Maybe a good hard R sometimes, you know, but sadly, never really triple. Well, one or two times, but that's between me and who it happened with. Uh, Crazy Kitty, my mother wouldn't let me watch Star Trek or Fresh Prince or The Cosby Show or even Family Matters, and she hated Home Improvement, but never said no to it. Wow, what did she let you watch? That's that's sad. Now, Fresh Prince, I don't think that's a big loss for anybody. Of course, The Cosby Show nowadays. Oh, Family Matters. I loved Family Matters. I remember when Family Matters was an entirely different show before it became the Urkel Show. Before Urkel, and they had another daughter that just suddenly one day disappeared and became a porn star. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Jamie Foxworth. She became a porn star. Big Al's a very private person, so am I, says Melissa. I a little bit, but I do sometimes overshare. Uh, I can tell you a few things Crazy Kitty, Saturday. Oh, you watch Saturday morning cartoons, TMNT, Digimon, Sailor Moon. Uh, I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit. I like that. I liked Pokemon. The first few years of Pokemon when they had Ash, Misty, and Brock were the main characters, and it was always Team Rocket trying to do something stupid. Then they started getting other characters, and I just kind of didn't care anymore. Robo Owl's the sequel, both Big Al, The Lost Years, and Old Man Al, the Big Al trilogy, directed by Kevin Smith. Oh, jeez. You gotta have a role for Jason Mewes somewhere. And Muhammad wants to know, what is the scariest scene from a non-horror film? Shelob scene scared the crap out of you. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me see. As a kid, well, see, Jaws is considered horror, I guess. I don't like considering Jaws horror, pure horror. It's more just nature being, nature being nature. God, scary moment from a non-horror movie. Oh, gee, I have to think about that. But yeah, the Shelob ski to Lord of the Rings was pretty intense. Uh, anything that involved a spider, anything that involved spiders or snakes, or anything like that, is kind of oogie and spooky to me. Um, yeah, that's amazing. Wow, yeah, because like I said, it takes a lot to scare me. So a lot of times a lot of times even a horror film doesn't so much scare me as thrill me. So it's kind of a different, thing. I'm not spooked out as I am just kind of gets the blood pumping, to see all, to get that shock value. The actual imagery doesn't oh, get to me unless it's like a broken bone, like a twisted, mangled body, or like, bones shooting through flesh, like a compound fracture. Um, that's kind of spooky. But anything along the lines of a giant spider or a snake or something like coming out of a human body, like, oh, did you see the Dracula trailer when the fly goes in the guy's eye? That that freaked me out. um, that was kind of. Oh, Professor Geek is here. Wow, neither of you are remotely private. Professor Geek here in the afternoon. Oh, if you heard the things I said about you. Um, wondering how the stuff is coming. I told everybody there's no rewatch in case they missed your tweet. That you're working hard on getting everybody their digital copy. A lot of them said that you're now dead to them. I'm kidding. Let's see, Evangelion's a bit more morbid to me to enjoy. Felt like everything was a downer. You're right. It just there was always something sad. There was some kind of trauma going on. The only thing I really liked about Evangelion was the hot major chick. That was about it. Um, let me see. I think your mom was a little bit racist. But Cosby got framed by the feminazis. He might have. I don't know. I think there's dark secrets within all of us, and dark intentions, and some people are going to act on them. Whether he did or not, you know, I guess a jury of his peers found out that they did. Casey Scott needs more Digimon. That's the Jamaican version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Digimon, right? Digimon. Professor's here. Um, if he were close to a computer, I'd ask him to come on. If you can and want to come on, let me know, and I'll send you a link. If directed by Kevin Smith, it'll be full of dick jokes and sex jokes and pot smoking and gay jokes. Well, except for the pot smoking, yeah, that's pretty much a lot of my life. I'm kidding. I like Kevin Smith movies. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, but I do like the absurdist humor that he could come up with. The like Dogma and Mallrats and stuff like that. Just absolute weird insanity. Dark Stranger, I thought Jaws was a thriller, but then again, people these days just mix thriller and horror together as if it's the same thing. You're right. I think Jaws more like an adventure thriller than it is a horror movie. I mean, I could see why people consider it a horror movie, but it's more of an adventure film. It's these guys going on an adventure to kill a shark. I always view horror more as the horror inside of the human or a supernatural force. So, but like a shark or a bear, consider a bear. There's that movie Grizzly from '76 that terrified me. But you think back, it was just a bear. It wasn't anything supernatural or evil. It just was a bear looking for food. It happened to be a gigantic bear, 15 feet tall, bigger than any other bear around, but that's its own little thing. But you're right. It's more of a thriller than it is a horror. Crazy Kitty, don't worry, your life is at best PG-13 for the most part. Well, you got to up that rating there, Crazy. Get out there and, earn that adult rating. Now, is this Michael, or did the forehead finally become sentient? Kidding. Love ton buns. I don't know if he's here to listen to it. I saw a number go down, so who knows? Melissa Harris loves Digimon and Pokemon. I prefer Pokemon. I never really got into Digimon. Heard Smith is making Clerks 3. Yep, he's making Clerks 3, and he's making Jay and Silent Bob the reboot, which I'd like to hear. It's literally a reboot of Strikes Back. For what I heard, his Batman run had Batman piss himself and Joker offer to blowjob. Oh God, I'm glad I don't read comics anymore. I really do. Crazy Kitty says involves leaving the house, but you can't leave it. Oh, I don't want to get into it. It's probably it could be like a, I don't know, personal question. But I know what you mean, because I really can't leave the house. So a true social life I do not have. Closest I've got is Mara Jade and messaging back and forth. I mean, really, flirting and stuff. But that can be fun. But yeah, I know it can be tough if you can't get out, or you're not wired to get out, if you have social anxieties or things like that. You've got Super Ben for socialness. Well, that's good. Do you guys live close or just internet? You don't need to tell me if you don't want. Yeah, Super Ben's a good guy. I miss him. Don't really see him that much online anymore. I don't know if he's just busy or just losing interest. I don't know, but good guy. Internet and phone. Yeah. Oh, he's a good. Any guy with super on his name got to be a good friend. Got to be a good person to deal with. Um, okay, well, it's almost time for me to start wrapping things up. Unless anybody has any particular questions, um, they want to run by me. Uh, I say, Melissa, your oldest son Jake said the women who played Supergirl got nudes leaked online. She's a coop, she said. Um, are you talking about Melissa Benoist, the one that's in the new Supergirl show? Because yeah, she's had stuff out a while, and she did a nude scene in a show, and was pretty out there. I will say I have nothing against Melissa Benoist physically. Beautiful woman, beautiful woman. If you're talking about Helen Slater, also beautiful woman, beautiful woman. At this point, I would really love your jobs. I can write and keep to myself, or my big love filmmaking. Yeah, I wish I could write more and better. I do have ideas, and Professor gets really pissed at me sometimes because he knows I have decent ideas that he would like to see me get on the page. One day I'll try. I've got a few rolling around in my head that have morphed and tightened up over the years. One day I'll try putting something into writing. Uh, Mohammed asked me, "Did I ever have social anxiety? If so, how'd you deal with it?" No, not really. I was shy, and I was shy because I was overweight. I was always the big kid, that, but I was always sociable. People that gravitated into the same social circle as I did, I loved talking with them. I was very talkative too. Uh, I've always been easy to talk to. I've always been able to get into a conversation fairly easy. Uh, get easy to get to know somebody. But I will say, like I said, I was shy, but I was shy when it come to many aspects. Like women, I've always been shy around girls when I was younger, and now just reached the point where what, go for it. I forget who says it, but you can try it 100 times, but you might find that one that says yes. So why not? Uh, but once I found once I find a one who sticks around for a while, I'm very loyal and very much about that person. So I'm a good boyfriend, I think, to have emotionally. I think um, when it's like 100% like the real thing. I think you're still looking for a yes. Just got to keep asking, Crizzy. They're out there. Someone will snap you up one day and treat you like the queen you deserve to be treated as. All women deserve to be treated like a queen. All men deserve to be treated like a king. All the rest, well, there shouldn't be anybody after that. Well, the odd, weird ones out there, but there's someone for everyone. Just got to find them. And if you don't, you just try to be the nicest person you can. Um, can't be a good boyfriend or girlfriend, just be a good friend. Uh, and sometimes that can lead to something else. The love of my life was a friend for 10 years before it was anything else. Of course, it's now nothing, but I'll always have those memories and that time of friendship. So it's always wonderful. Are you ever going to do an actual face reveal? I know Troy showed it, but I mean live. Oh, not really. I doubt it. Because one, I'm laying in bed, so I look stupid. Uh, um, but that is my face. I mean that picture. I mean, yeah, it's a few years older, little grayer in the beard section, but that was me. I don't exactly have the face for television or video. I'll be the first to admit that, and the first to be one of. I am a big guy. I have a crazy eye, a little wonky evil eye. Like if anybody knows Jack Elam, the actor Jack Elam, kind of like that eye wise. Um, my avatar is like 97% me. You're right. Yeah, it's me. Like the coloration of the beard and the hair is a little off, but that's the best I could do without it looking totally white. Really being wrong. Uh, Casey Scott, I got nothing. I'm fine by now. Just being alone. So yeah, sometimes you just got to be happy being alone. Uh, when you're alone, you can catch up. You can catch up on a lot of reading, on a lot of television watching. Um, take day trips. Oh, I remember. Oh, I remember breaking up with um, the one, and I was deeply depressed for a long time after this. Uh, and but I remember going on day trips to DC. I would just like one morning I wake up, I was like, you know what? I feel like going to the Smithsonian, and I would go to the Smithsonian, go around the circle until I found a parking spot, and I would go to the museum I was closest to. So it could have been American history, could have been natural history, could have been the Smithsonian Institution proper, or could have been Air and Space. But that was just me, trying to deal with it. Uh, what time period would I live in? Lowest 1700s. Uh, I would not mind at all if you're not counting any time period that I was alive in. So let's eliminate everything after the 60s and up. I would not mind living in, I will say, wow. I'm trying to think of what I could have. Just enough cool stuff, but like maybe like turn of the century, maybe. Um, that's a lot of man. That's a lot of wartime. You know what? Let's go back to 1850s. 1850s before Civil War. Civil War still, good 10 years away. Maybe even go to 1840s. Go out west. Give myself a little homestead. Have a wife and about 20 kids, and do a little bit of farming. I think that'd be fun. Alan the Homesteader. I think it'd be a good time. I used to there used to be a show on public television called Frontier House. They made several of them. There was Frontier House. Then there was like a Victorian house. They had all like different periods, and they put modern people into the situation of that time period and see how they would do. Frontier House, I thought, was the most fun because it was, like I said, the frontier period. You said the lowest 1700s? What do you mean? You mean I have to go? Oh, you mean I have to go back before 1700? Is that what you're saying? I, I'm trying to figure out exactly what your parameters are here, Mohammed. So I thought you said, oh, before 1700s. Oh, well, that changes the whole ballgame, buddy. I would say I would love back in ancient Greece, uh, when Athens was like the capital of the world, and you know olives were were growing everywhere, and wine, and sail the Aegean on uh, on those old Greek style ships, and worship the gods of Olympus. I think that'd be a fun thing, fun time. Might be a dirty time, but hey, everybody had to deal with it at the same time. But yeah, I think ancient Greece, maybe Rome. Like say Rome around the time of Augustus, if I were a higher uppity up. Um, yeah, Archimedes. Yeah, like those periods. I do like the ancient periods. I was thinking more. You said low 700s. I thought that was the lowest I could go was 1700s. So I was going above that. That's where the misunderstanding was. You and Geek talk about possible horror hosts like creators on YouTube. Andy, the maniacal cinephile of Stitched Together Pics, came back after a 2-year hiatus. Nice channel. Cool. I know the Fan Man has always had ideas of doing something like that. I hope he does. I think it'd be great. I know he loves horror, and I know he's kind of pseudo depressed now because Halloween's almost over. this is his Christmas. This is his favorite time of the year. The weeks and months leading up to Halloween. And I will tell you, knowing him has given me a much better love of that holiday as well. He really ramped it up for me. I love Boots to Reboots and Cinema Snob and Rambo Ralph for life. Oh, okay, nice. Oh, channels, yeah. I really don't know. I don't follow a lot of channels that I know straight out. I go more by subject, and I do watch a lot of things like I watch like knife channels, like people making knives or talking about pocket knives, because I like pocket knives. I don't have a lot, got maybe like 5, but I love pocket knives. I love people restoring like old kitchen knives or cleavers, things like that. I've been on an orangutan kick the last few days. Kind of Smithsonian's been releasing a lot of orangutan vids, and I've kind of been recapturing my love of our furry little friends. Love an orangutan. I really wish I was strong enough to be able to say no to palm oil, but I really don't know how to go about doing that. But Crazy Kitty got 4 hours of sleep last night because my sister always has to put on the overhead light, waking me up. Oh God. Yeah, well, get a BB gun. You can take care of that real quick. But yeah, I love orangutans. If I'm depressed, I can watch little baby orangutan videos, like them learning things in jungle school, and really feel good about myself, or just good in general, because they just make me happy. One of my sincerest wishes is to hug a baby orangutan. I would just love to have one kind of crawl up into my lap and just give me a big old hug. I know it sounds weird, but I don't know. I just think it would be very sweet. Cinema Snob created a lost B-movie horror film named Sadistic Bitch, and another Cinema Snob movie for Troma Films. Crazy Kitty, so my hero stuffed orangutan for Christmas. I would like, that'd be kind of sweet. I like orangutans. I do. A few years ago, I just, for some reason, I started watching a show on Animal Planet in the morning, and I just really got to just love them. Just so soulful eyes. I mean, I like all the apes and monkeys, but there's just something about the orangutan that just, you know, I don't know, it just touches my heart, and it breaks my heart to see what's happening to their home. Uh, it's let me see. Oh, it's a little after 4:30. It's almost time. Almost did time for Al. So let me get off here and time to say goodbye. Like I said, no rewatch tonight, sadly, from Professor Geek. Um, hopefully the fan man will be back on Friday. He'll have a regular fan man tonight episode. I believe he's going to start talking about regular geek topics again if it doesn't depress him too much. Uh, and his throat's back. So keep an eye out on his Twitter feed to learn if his throat's back. It seems to be doing better. He did do a video yesterday on that film Eli. Like I said, next Monday will be the first day of The Hobbit on the Catholic Bible Geek channel at 11 o'clock on Monday. Read the first chapter, which is An Unexpected Party. It's about 27 pages in my book. I don't know how it will be with you. I will wish everyone a happy Halloween. Might be on again tomorrow. I don't know. If I do, maybe I'll do an impromptu rewatch or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But maybe not. But it's Halloween. Probably everybody's going to be either doing a party or going out with friends or sitting at home having kids come by and take their candy, or cleaning up toilet paper from those who are too stingy to give candy away. So I wish everyone a happy Halloween. I'll see you guys again real soon, somewhere, somehow. Take care. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. I always like having you guys on for a little bit, just to talk, answer a few questions, and listen to me ramble on. So everyone, you guys have a great day. Happy Halloween and take care.